Welcome to Down to Earth Astrology. I am Miss Jenny and I am your astrologer. So this morning we have a bit of a PSA and a little bit of a fun, friendly rant between friends. So here's my morning story to go with the morning coffee. So I'm tooling around on YouTube looking for something kind of, get the brain engaged, right? And I was like, you know what? I haven't listened to other astrologers in a really long time. Let me go see what's going on in that corner of the universe. And some interesting things came up. Apparently one of my favorite people just recently came down with coronavirus, which was very sad. He's okay. He's alive, thank God. But apparently, long COVID, man, it's not over just because you got out of the hospital. And also there was some intimation and suggestion. He didn't come out and say it, but this is a common conversation people have about coronavirus and immunity and letting your body do its natural thing. So here's the thing, and I want you guys to remember this. And if you don't believe me, and absolutely do your research and talk to an actual educated medical professional, and I don't mean a nurse, because I've got a lot to say about what nurses do and don't know. But if you can find a community health professional, a physician, but more specifically a virologist, if you're even that lucky, right? These are the people you want to go to with these questions. And listen, even failing that, if you can find a microbiology teacher, that would be your next best bet to understanding how viruses work. Trust me on this, right? So here's the thing with your immune system, right? So yes, your immune system builds up immunity with antibodies after being exposed to, specific types of viruses and stuff, right? And ideally, this is what our body does all the time. Here's the problem, you bunch of geniuses, not you guys, the other ones. Your immune system is not foolproof, okay? Fool like you, who honestly believes that somehow your immune system is like Superman and can conquer all by itself. Your immune system is not foolproof. It is fragile, and sometimes it fails. And to really drive this point home, I want you to go look up autoimmune disease. I want you to look up lupus. I want you to look up rheumatoid arthritis. I want you to look up Hodgkin's lymphoma. These are all immune system diseases, among many others, where the immune system is not doing its job adequately or well because there's something faulty in the system. Your immune system is not a magic pill that will automatically protect and defend you from all attackers in terms of viruses, in the environment. It is a powerful and necessary tool in our arsenal of biological health, but it is not a one and done deal. So any jackass who's telling you, oh, well, your immune system take care of that, you just got to expose yourself to blah, 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 blah. Buddy, no. There's a reason we don't have measles and mumps and smallpox killing people and our children anymore. And do you know why? It's called a vaccine, because our immune system is not Superman. It is not a silver bullet that kills werewolves and viruses in its tracks just because it got exposed. It's more complicated than that, you frickin' potted plant. So, I mean, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you what to believe, but I can tell you that a little bit of education is apparently a very dangerous thing around here, because people watch YouTube and read Facebook and suddenly think they're qualified medical experts who can talk about these things. When the reality is that, the human body is an amazing genius design of a thing, and it's more complicated. And the fact of the matter is, your immune system is not foolproof. And it's not perfect. And anybody who's got any type of autoimmune disease where the body is not even recognizing itself can tell you that sometimes there are things that slip through the immune system, or the immune system doesn't know what to do with because it's not functioning properly, because it's not a silver bullet that can kill werewolves and random viruses immediately. So my personal suggestion and request for all of you is that you go get vaccinated. But if you're watching the channel, you probably are. Failing that, my other request for you is, as a self-respecting adult with a perfectly good free education in a first world country, stop perpetuating and promulgating nonsense. So if you or anyone you know starts talking this nonsense, this stupid idiocy about, well, your immune system and you just gotta let it run its course. No, Jesus, God, I'm sorry. You want to introduce me to your microbiology teacher? Because at minimum, you should have had a microbiology course and you would understand what I'm talking about, even with just X. That's all I've had is a microbiology course and some medical training, and I understand this. I'm not a virologist. if you don't even have that as a minimum, you are not in any position to be qualified to tell other people about their immune system and how it works, because you would be wrong, sweetheart. You would be wrong. And right now, thanks to the Omicron virus, deaths are up again. So I kind of like y'all to be around. Happy, healthy, thriving, there for your children, not leaving them as orphans. So if you're not going to get your vaccine, which I highly recommend you do get one, at least stop buying into this stupidity by slope-headed, smooth-brained bowling balls who think that because they read Facebook or you know, watched a YouTube video from some quack chiropractor, you know, or some crazy surgeon from Florida, you know, that suddenly they know everything there is to know about the immune system and the virus, and that's why we don't need vaccines. Okay, so there's that. That really just gets under my craw. The other thing, this is what really fired me up this morning, that's why I'm doing the video. So here's a PSA, right? So, folks, we're still going to be here. The world is not coming to an end this week, next week, maybe not even probably next year, maybe not for a few years. I don't know. I mean, they're certainly working on accelerating this. But at the end of the day, we're still going to be here. And as stressed out and crazy as you are right now, and I know you are because we all are, I am an introvert and I really like being alone, and even I'm getting a little nuts now. Even as nuts as you think you are and as upside down as life is, which it is for a lot of people, God bless those poor people in Kentucky, like that, oh my God, Jesus. The fact of the matter is we are still here, and because we're still here, we still have the ability to do powerful things while we're here. We are having a process. We are having a process, and you are being given the opportunity to discover strengths and powers within you and genius within you that you didn't know you had, that could not have been discovered except under exceptional circumstances. This is one of those times. So it is up to us to rise to our higher and better nature and not let ourselves get sucked into this conspiracy theory, Trump supporting, hateful freaking nonsense that seems to be like global at this point. So, and I say this because there are apparently a lot of astrologers on YouTube who are Trump supporters. Go figure. What the hell is that about? Or if they're not Trump supporters, their fans are, right? And they all love conspiracy theories. So it's like literally the lunatic church around here when it comes to astrology. This one particular astrologer, who, like a lot of them, is very popular because she's a Trump supporter. She's a conspiracy theory promulgator. Like, she's all the wackadoodle Looney Tune bedtime story pablum for dummies kind of astrology that seems to be popular on YouTube. Well, I'm making it sound very official. So I know for a fact, way back last year, there was a month in particular where she was, because she's white, right? So it's the whole like, oh, well, people are very angry, and oh, you know, there's going to be quite the civil war. Oh, the only time anybody talks about a civil war, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, the only people who say that casually, like this is a point of, you know, comfortable speculation, it's white people. White people. I've never heard minorities say, oh, you think there'll be a civil war? No, because we know that there is no civil war. It will literally be mass extermination. That's different from a civil war. So, you know, at this time last year, it's like, oh, civil war. Ooh, people are very angry. Ooh, watch this date, this whole month. Ooh, things are going to blow up. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I knew nothing was going to happen. Nothing happened. But the problem is she whipped people up. Like, people listening to her channel that follow her, like, oh my God, oh my God, Bonnie, go get the guns. Like, they're all crazy now, right? And now, of course, she's trying to pat herself on. Now suddenly everybody's doing the predictions, actual predictions, instead of bedtime story for Bonzo on YouTube. Put a report card in her comment section. Anyway, sorry. So now she's trying to say that she predicted the virus. And of course, she covers it up by saying, well, it wasn't actually the virus. I thought it was going to be terrorism, right? I thought it was going to be terrorism, but it turns out that it was a biological virus, which is biological terrorism. So now she's playing her wrong prediction. Instead of owning up to the fact that she was wrong, she's now playing it off as, no, I was right. I was absolutely right. And saying that this is biological terrorism because terrorists, whoa, and they're not done, and oh, the ruling class, whoa. Wow. So, I don't know, like, this is why I don't watch other astrologers, because I have enough trouble sleeping at night. This will just make things worse. My insomnia is bad enough. Don't need more of that. But for you guys, I'm sure some of you are watching some of these people and taking them seriously, because why wouldn't you, right? They're right about everything else. the mark of a good, great person of merit is somebody who can admit that they're wrong. Like, just own the fact that they were wrong about something, which a lot of these people won't. Anyway, so just wanted to say to you guys, when you're listening to some of these Looney Tune astrologers who really just want your eyeballs and ears on their channel and will tell you anything to whip you up because it gets eyeballs and ears on the channel, right? The most popular astrologers are always the conspiracy theory promoting and Trump loving, you know, Civil War proclaiming astrologers, or the ones who are light, love, fluff, right? And giant data dumps without actually predicting anything. You know, oh, well, Mercury this and Saturn that, and, you know, the sesquiquadrate, reverse parallel, parallax. By the time they get done with all the data dump, they've said nothing, and you still don't know what to expect, except that these aspects are happening, so it must be really important. And then, of course, there's the other ones who are just really good at clickbait, verbal clickbait. Oh, great karmic changes! Oh my God, I see a lot of that too. And listen, I'm not banging them, because YouTube is entertainment. So people are doing what entertains people. Like, I can't fault them for what people want to see, right? So if other people are supporting these channels and other people are actually searching this out, it's not their fault. They're giving people what they want. But I will say that as somebody who struggles with the way the world is going, because we are in a big, messy process of evolution right now. And there's a whole lot of people out there that are really, really looking to hurt innocent people in more ways than one. You know, I struggle with it because at the end of the day, so many of us are sensitive and so many of us are aware and smarter than a light bulb, a dim light bulb. And this stuff is just making people crazy, right? So we already had enough trouble sleeping before and keeping our anxiety levels down the minimum. Now we're just absolutely banana boats. So when people do things like this and actually perpetuate, increase, and amplify the crazy signal for viewers, it makes me a little, disappointed is a gentle word. So here's my PSA for you folks. One, your immune system is not foolproof, so don't buy into this nonsense about how your immune system needs to do what it do because it'll collect antibodies and it'll be fine. That's not actually the way it's not that simple. If it were that simple, people would not spend 4, 8, 10 years in college working on getting a medical degree and then practicing as an intern and a resident before they're actually allowed to be left alone with the patient. If the human body were that simple, medical training would not be that extensive. So keep that in mind. And again, if you can't get access to an actual virologist or a proper doctor, not a chiropractor, if you can find a microbiology teacher, that is literally a great source for explanation about how viruses and the immune system works. So there's that. The second thing is this business about apparently, oh, right, and that's the other thing. So this month is apparently cataclysmic. Oh my God. Oh. No, we're still going to be here. We are still going to be here. And there's always something going on everywhere, all over the globe. And I get that. I get that. But I don't know that this month is going to be any more horrific than the others. So don't buy into this, like, fear-mongering, this crazy-making that, you know, oh, terrorism, and oh, the big boogeyman's going to come and blow something up. It could happen. It could not happen. I mean, the fact of the matter is people are getting murdered in mass, you know, in Myanmar, just because they're trying to keep their democracy together. In Tiananmen Square, they massacred their own college students, not unlike they attempted to do it in Kent State years ago in the 60s. Here, we just had a tornado decimate entire towns, literally leaving people without money, without home, without car, without job, literally nothing. They have nothing except the clothes on their back. They literally have no resources now. Nowhere to go, no way to support themselves, no way to replace anything. Like, they've had nothing because the tornado ripped it all away. Bad things happen all the time. So buying into this anxiety-feeding crazy-making about, oh, you know, boogeymen, terrorists, whoa, you know, possible, whoa, yikes. Don't make yourself nuts swallowing that pill, because that's just nuts. And it's not helping. It's not helping. Here's a thought I want you guys to keep with you as we move into 2022. And we're going to have a really good discussion about Jupiter and Neptune and Pisces. And where the directions we're heading in, because it's not bad. It's actually really good. But you have to participate. Like all things Piscean, you have to make a conscious commitment to participating and taking the higher road. because it's very, very easy to slide down a slippery slope and end up in all sorts of places you will never find yourself out of. Neptune, Pisces, right? Here's the thing to remember. We are in very messy times because we are making progress, and progress is messy. If you have ever made anything from scratch, whether it's a cake or you've built something, right? Or you've sewed together a project, or you've done something crafty, if you have ever physically made something from scratch, you know progress is messy. Progress is messy, and a lot of times it just looks ugly as all sin until it's done. Then, ooh, wow. That's what all that mess and work was for. So we're on the same trajectory in terms of social evolution. We are in the midst of great, great pivotal change. Progress is messy, and boy, is it messy. But we are making progress. And you, my friends, are being invited by the cosmos to participate in this progress consciously and deliberately, and to give yourself an opportunity to reframe the lens so that you now see and recognize that what's happening in your life, no matter how messed up your life is, what's happening right now is that you're being given an opportunity to discover your genius, your strength, your power, your wisdom, and your ability to be a better version of yourself through these challenges. Okay, so it's not a final exam, but it's definitely an exercise in self-development. So don't let the crazy makers out here make you nuts, because they literally just want eyes and ears on their channel, and I'm not going to fault them for that, because that's what people are looking for, or they wouldn't keep doing it. But for you, if you're watching this channel, you're probably not so much like that. So I don't want you to get lost in the soup with them. And again, if people start talking this nonsense to you, these are the key points to maybe remind them of too, to kind of break them out of their trance, right? So that is it, my friends. This is my morning fun, friendly rant, because I think you're awesome. You're my viewers. Of course I think you're awesome. I'm very grateful to have you here. And I am going to go now because I've got stuff to do. I am in the midst of great change and progress and stuff myself. So it's not easy on this end either. But, you know, we get there. We get there. And sometimes we just need to be reminded about what it is we're supposed to be focusing on instead of everything that's going wrong. And these ridiculous, oh, civil war, which is really just the racist version of mass execution. And so just remember that. And when people start saying stuff like, oh, you think there'll be a civil war, you put them in their place immediately. Because, my friends, if thoughts create reality, we don't need people feeding into that garbage either. You guys have a great day. We'll talk soon. The January horoscopes will be up shortly. And of course, if you enjoyed this or my company in the morning, like, subscribe, share. We'll talk to you soon.